Have you ever noticed that the countries that can't keep the lights on or put bread on the table always seem to throw the best missile parties? Yeah, there's something almost hilarious about governments that are total disasters at the boring stuff like stable prices, working schools, or letting families buy eggs without it becoming a national crisis. But suddenly becomes geniuses the moment you hand them a big metal tube, some rocket fuel, a flag, and a camera crew. The missile goes up, the state TV crew starts screaming like they just won the World Cup, and everyone's supposed to feel proud. Mission accomplished, right? Missiles have become the most poetic objects in modern politics. They're tall, dramatic, fiery middle fingers to the sky. Pure nationalism with thrust. In one glorious launch, a failing regime gets to say, "Look, we can't feed you. Our economy's in the toilet. Everything's falling apart." But watch how high our anger can fly. A missile isn't really a weapon. It's a grudge with wings. It's wounded pride turned aerodynamic. It's political religion with fins. A shiny metal prayer that screams, "We're still a big deal." And honestly, it's emotionally efficient as hell. Because everything actually useful in a country, roads, hospitals, farms, paychecks, electricity, is annoyingly horizontal. It requires patience, compromised maintenance, and the horror of being quietly competent every single day. Boring, slow, doesn't look good on TV. Missiles? They just go straight up and make everyone cheer. Instant spectacle, instant dopamine. That's why governments love them. Missiles let them skip all the hard, thankless work of actually running a country. No need to fix potholes, pay nurses, or explain why the water still doesn't run. Just look up at the sky for 5 seconds and feel something. For a few beautiful moments, all the failure on the ground gets forgiven because something finally went vertical. And let's be honest about what this really is. Missiles are the ultimate overcompensation contest in metal form, rigid, thrusting, explosive, and full of noise. They scream, "We're still powerful," right when everything underneath is quietly collapsing. It's the geopolitical version of a guy desperately overcompensating, except with much bigger warheads and much bigger bills. And boy, are the bills massive. The world spent a record $2.7 trillion on military stuff in 2024. The United States alone dropped nearly $1 trillion. One Patriot missile, $4 million. One Tomahawk, up to 3.6 million. They burned through billions in days during recent conflicts. While still arguing about school lunches, Russia does it with extra drama and snow. North Korea starves its people, but pours almost 16% of its budget into missiles so they can feel like a big deal. Iran can't control bread prices, but has mastered launching rockets. Lebanon is in economic ruins while Hezbollah spends $50 million a month on more rockets. Everywhere you look, the same trick. Can't fix the fridge? Fill the missile silos. Can't give people hope? Give them a fireworks show and call it dignity. This is what I call erectile statecraft. When you can't deliver real results, you deliver spectacle. You turn national impotence into a blazing show of strength in the sky. No negotiation, no compromise, no boring democracy, just pure power fantasy. And the really sad part, a lot of the people actually buy it. When your real life feels like garbage, watching your country launch a giant rocket suddenly feels like pride, like dignity, like at least we can still do this. So the missile becomes the perfect substitute, a flaming middle finger to reality that says your empty pantry is actually patriotism. Here's the brutal truth. Missiles are fantastic at going up. They're completely useless at putting dinner on the table, keeping hospitals open, or building a future. They turn real failure into symbolic victory. They ask hungry people to applaud expensive engineering. And the longer this goes on, the more it becomes a self-reinforcing delusion. The more you spend, the more you have to defend the spending. Question it? You're not a patriot. You're a traitor. But history is patient and merciless. Any nation that keeps choosing altitude over actual achievement, fear over flourishing, and fireworks over functioning hospitals is not building greatness. It's building a very expensive monument to its own downfall. Missiles point straight up. The problem is, they're pointing in exactly the wrong direction.